Greetings all, and as always, love and light within. Something so peaceful after the rain has fallen. So, previous weekend, it started to rain, and it was, I was doing some things, sorting out some stuff, preparing for what I'm going to be experiencing. I had my headphones in, and took my headphones out, and all of a sudden I just hear, like it was just raining, and it seemed, for me, it just felt like in that moment that I hadn't heard rain in such a long time. It felt like that anyway. So I just sat there and I just listened to it. Just listened to the rain. I had my window open and I just listened to the rain. And it was so peaceful. It was just that 20 minutes of just being. Putting the phone down, putting the phone away, like to the side, and taking my headphones out and just sitting there, staring at the window while it rains. And I think that's one thing that we all forget. Everyone, again, it could just be a definition of belief system. And one thing that I've noticed for me personally is that all of these distractions, like your mobile phone, consuming. Like if you take a walk wherever you are to your local area, your high street, wherever it be, a city, a town, wherever it may be, I want you to just literally stand there in that moment and just look around. And what you will see is you will see more food shops than any other shop. It's because they want you to consume as much food as possible. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm no stranger to food, and it was one of the addictions that I had to learn to slow down. Because what I realized and what I found is that I would essentially eat my body weight, so I would no longer have to focus on anything else. Just to give you an example, I've done a little test. So I've done a little, not so much, a test is probably the wrong word I'm going to use. So when Sunday arrived, I was having these thought patterns of a polarity of a negativity. But that's only because there was a definition and a belief system. Yeah, so there was a definition and belief systems in place that were coming through in my mind. The moment that the body realized that it wasn't getting food, I wasn't going to feed it like I would normally do, like I've done in the past or in the previous timelines, depending on your preference. But what I did notice is observing the thought patterns that were coming through were really something, because previously I viewed them as negative. I put a polarity on them of a negativity. But then when I became the neutral observer of those thought patterns, I began to notice something. And what I noticed was the definition and the belief systems that was attached to it. And once I identified the definition, once I saw or felt the belief system, I let it go. And in that moment of letting it go, I then got some food, because I wanted to see how the body reacted. Because if we follow our passions to the best of our ability until we can take them no further, and then we find something else that's very passionate, it's getting to the point where do we go from there? And the reason why I am doing this video on this, according to the Matrix, bank holiday, or if you're a movie fan of the Star Wars, may the 4th be with you. I've heard that as well. So yeah, love and light. I found that quite amusing. So anyway, back on the topic. And yeah, I realized that the addiction that I had to food was a safety mechanism when I was a child. It was a childhood thing that I did when if I ever felt unsafe, I would consume a lot of food until I didn't care. And that's what the belief system and the definition was. Because the reason why I know this is because the moment I consumed food, it was like, I just didn't care anymore. But it was identifying the fact that it was a belief system and a definition that was attached to that, for that segment of thought patterns. Oh, confirmation burp there. And one thing that I was grateful for is the fact that I used to label that with a polarity of negativity. And that was quite recent, because I used to consume quite a lot of food in the previous timelines, because it was one of the addictions that I was first introduced. It was, well, I say first, I would probably say second. The first one was sugar, but we all get introduced that at a very young age. And then forever, you're chasing that craving of the sugar. And then you find it in other things. So you find it in foods, but then you taste the other chemicals that are in foods, and then you get addicted to those. And, it's a domino effect. But one thing that I've realized is you can consume a lot. I mean, I consumed a lot yesterday. There was a lot of food that I consumed. But it was an experiment. It was a very joyful experiment, because I do enjoy food. It's, one thing about this reality, it's just, you can get a decent meal here. Although there's a lot of dead things that they make taste nice. That's what I find quite amusing. Like, it's dead, but in order for people to consume it, they make it taste nice. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? So yeah, again, if this resonated with you, if you understood what I said, fantastic. Remember, what resonates, keep. What doesn't, let it go. And I am grateful for it. I'm grateful for the experience. And I will catch you in the next video. Peace, and may blissness be your day. I don't know about that one. Don't know, maybe. Who knows? Let me know in the comments if you made it this far. How about have a joyful day? Have a passionate day. Signing off.